Coach really mentioned that he came off the field at the end of the game there after the final offensive play, my apologies, and he mentioned that there was an open receiver in the end zone. What did you see in that?
Yeah, they took away the first two reads just with the coverage they played, and so I was stepping up and just going to give Juwan a big body ball up top, and I thought he won just from my point of view. Until we get the clicker and pause it, I don't know, but at least we would have had a chance, and so that's just it's tough to be that close, to have a chance. And I was begging, right before that drive, I was like, hey, I went to Riz. I was like, let's go for two, because there was no doubt in our mind. We're going to score. We're going to score. Let's go for the win. And we didn't get that opportunity to see if we were going to do it. But it's hard to lose a game that way. I just wish I just could have done more for my teammates. I always feel that way after a loss, and this one hurts. Especially when you're that close.
So was that pressure just like in a blind spot? Is there anything that could have been? Did you evaluate anything like that?
My read was completely front side. I mean, I will evaluate it. I was just like, what could I do better? What could I have done? But I'm not looking, that side on that play with the kill we made, the check, I should say, that we made, and my eyes are front side, going through my read, trying to find the coverage and find the open guy, and so I had no idea. But I got to figure out a way to help my teammates.
How tough was it to lose Taysom early on that drive?
That's the worst. I don't know anything. Y'all probably know more than me. But just as a brother, as a friend. Because it's bigger than football at that moment. His family, his kids, his wife, everybody, and that your heart just breaks. You got guys, Coach McVay, heartbroken for him. Stafford, walks up talking to me, heartbroken for him. In that moment, it kind of pauses the game part of it and the competitiveness, and you feel for someone especially like that. But I love how our fans treated him. And I would expect nothing less from our fans. When one of our guys goes down, they've been great. To support our guys, whether it's going great or not. The way they treat him, that made me happy for him to have that moment, because it's not a good moment to be in, but that was really cool.
Given his importance to the offense and maybe potential severity of the injury, do you feel like that maybe rattled the team at all, or were y'all able to compartmentalize that in the last few plays of the game?
I feel like we were able to compartmentalize it, honestly. It's such a violent sport, like your mind can't be anywhere else but on your assignment, and so I thought our focus, just being honest, I thought our focus was fine and was good. Just looking at the guys in the huddle and the mindset of still just trying to win that. And really, we threw the touchdown to MVS, and, Nick gets hurt, and then Taysom gets hurt, and, the rallying cry is like, man, let's do it for them, Let's get this win for them. And so I thought our guys were really focused. I didn't think it altered anybody's thoughts or anything.
How would you describe the mood in the locker room right now, just the general vibe right now?
I can't say the word I want to say because my mom always gets mad when I say it. So, and she texts me every time. But I would say angry, upset, because we just expect so much of us as a team, and we knew that was a good football team. We knew they were a really good football team, but we believe we're a really good football team, and so it hurts. But I would say angry, upset, mad at the loss. But still hungry. I've been in locker rooms that feel deflated, and that didn't feel like that. We still believe in what we can do, and it's not pretty. It's not been easy, but everything we want, we can still do. It's not impossible. And so, for us, I felt just as the leaders, as we were talking just now, I just felt like it was positive, as it could be after a loss.
You don't worry that maybe you've lost the momentum that you had built in the last couple of weeks?
I don't think so. I mean, as you go through practice and you feel the practice week and all those kind of things, I really just believe we have the kind of people that won't let it happen. I really believe that. I think Mickey has done an outstanding job of bringing, the right people, the leaders, DeMario, AK, Eric, Tyron, Cam, myself. I just feel like the whole locker room, we all just care too much, to just let it go. And so, especially when you're still playing for something, that it's not easy in this league, but when you're still playing for something, you got to keep going.
Derek, realistically, like, when your read is over here and the pressure's over here, like, what can a quarterback do besides, like, have that internal clock, you know? Like, is there anything that can be done there at that moment?
I don't know. I just always, want to put it on myself. I just, that's a tough one, because, it's at the end of a game, the down and distance, you're trying to take every last second. It's not like some of the plays early in the game where someone lost or something like that, and I just get out of there, I throw it away to save a negative play. Can't do that. I mean, you have to try. And so, I'll go study it and talk to my coaches, and whatever they say, we'll work it. I'll try and be better, and it'll be in my brain for sure, but I don't know. I don't want to say there's nothing I could ever do, because I always want to think that there's something I could have done better. But I was just going through my read, and at the end saw him and was about to throw it, and then he hit me.
Were you expecting to see man on that play?
Yes and no. I mean, yes, just because of the situation. Normally, you get that. But also with all the different motions and things we've done and beat versus man down in the low red zone and things like that, that's a tough call too on a defense too. So I mean, I knew what the coverage was as soon as I saw them line up and start communicating. But for me, usually in that situation, especially game on the line, you expect man, players on players and a blitz, maybe an all-out blitz or something like that. But yeah.
At what point do you maybe decide, like, I'm going to flee the pocket and extend this? Like, I know that one was kind of quick, but like, is there like a trigger that goes off in your head, like on a play where you're like, all right, it's been like 4 seconds, I need to get out of here or something like that?
Yeah, it's not really counting. It's once you get through the read, I got through 1 and 2 pretty quick, and then I'm waiting on number 3. The way they passed it off. I'm not going to talk about our whole read, but I went through 1 and 2 quick, just because of how they played it. We knew that those plays were dead. And so then you step up, looking for 3. Right when my eyes went there, I waited till he was about to win and then went to throw it. So, I don't know. It's my fault, man. I just wish I could have got the ball off.
Can you touch on some of the just missed opportunities in the first half, chances
Yeah.
to kind of like maybe get up and build a lead and hit the game you guys want?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the ones I can remember, the penalties, we had a few back us up. We thought we had a touchdown. Whether they're penalties or whether they're not, it doesn't matter. They called them, And so, for us, being able to eliminate penalties, you can't have negative plays, especially when you get in the fringe. It's just hard. The coverages people can play and where they can stand and take certain things away, it's hard to, there's not a lot of depth, to work with. Can't throw it over their head and stuff like that too. And so, I thought AK had a great effort getting in the end zone. That would have been a huge play for us, obviously, in this game. But yeah, I mean, anytime you have negative plays, that was a big emphasis for us this week. Just positive plays on first and second down, and obviously we didn't have enough of those because they got a good third and medium and long team, with rushing the passer and making you throw it short, trying to take things away that you try and take certain shots away, as best they could. We did hit the one to MVS, but. They do a good job on third down in those longer areas of really just trying to force the ball short and make a tackle at the sticks, And some games are like that. And sometimes it's frustrating a quarterback, but you have to stay true to your progression, the coverage, and getting the ball to the right guy, to give him a chance to get the first down. So I just thought, it's always on us as players that trying to figure out how to be better there early downs.
Derek, can you talk about that 2-point play? Take us through that. What we looking for, obviously, capitalizing and scoring.
Yeah, you're saying if we would have scored?
No,
the other one, the to Pettis. Got it. I'm sorry. The one to Pettis, yeah. So we had a progression on the front. And I saw him grab Foster, and Foster ended up winning, actually, late. I wasn't ready for that, but they grabbed him. I popped back because I knew just how they played their coverage. I'd have a one-on-one backside, and Pettis won, and I just tried to throw it high, just so the corner couldn't undercut and get his hands on it, and he went up and made the play. And so I'm really proud of him for making that play. He stepped up for us for sure.
What do you like about what you've seen from him and Kevin Austin Jr. kind of being called into a lot more action here over the course of past season?
Yeah, I mean, if you told me we would have been playing with, Pettis, Kevin, and MVS in camp, I would have been like, all right. I don't know if I'd have believed you, but I said, okay. And I'm just so proud of those guys because they've stepped up so big for our team and for our city, making big plays for us when we need them. And, those guys are really good football players. That's another crazy job by our front office, doing a great job of, okay, we have a problem, there's injuries, how do we feel the problem, how do we fix it to help our team win? And they've done a fantastic job of that. And we knew Kevin was a good player in camp. I loved him. I thought he was a really good player. We just had so many guys already ahead of him. It just didn't work out that way. But he didn't complain. He put his head down. It's a great learning lesson for young receivers. Everyone comes from being the guy, then you get on a team with Olave and Sheed and Juwan and Taysom and AK, and all of a sudden you're not the guy. Right away. But he did not complain one time, didn't make the team, all that kind of stuff. He just worked. He got opportunities, making the most of it. So that's a really good lesson for young receivers, especially his journey, where he's come from, all those things. Not quitting, not giving up, and just doing the right thing over and over again.
Obviously, you didn't get to run the 2-point play at the end, but is that communicated before the drive, at some point in the drive? Because obviously that's going to affect how you're maybe managing the clock.
Yeah, for me, I told Riz before the drive, I was like, hey, let's go for 2. And he just shook his head like, yes, I don't know if he wanted me to say that, sorry. But, he said yes. And then when we were going down on the drive, there was obviously an injury, timeout. And I looked at him, I said, hey. And he goes, like shaking his head. So, like, in our head, we're going to hit Juwan, on that play. Put it on whatever hash, run our 2-point play, and hopefully get a chance to win a football game. But we came up short, and we didn't get to do that.
Derek, you're 1-4 now in one score games. What do you think? I mean, how do you explain that? What do you point to?
It's hard. It's hard because it comes down to, like, we know in the NFL, like, one play. And, whether we tied it or try to go for 2 and try to win it, whatever. But, like, it comes down to one play. It's crazy how the game does that. And, we all focus on the end, but for us as players, we're going to go look at it and study it all morning tomorrow. Like, what play was it in between, that could have changed it? And so, for us, Double D said it best. He's like, look, man, when you lose 1-score games, don't let go of the rope because you're close. But we're not there yet, And what does that mean? It means when it's your turn, when it's whoever's turn, can you step up and make that play? Can you step up and be ready? And that only happens if you're doing it all right, from the beginning. And so, I wish we just had something we could just put our thumb on and know the answer. But without watching it, I just know what I saw, on the tablet. Whenever you're close, I just say what Double D said to everybody in the locker room. Whenever you're close, don't let go of the rope.
After the game today?
Yeah, just every time. Whoever breaks it down, he broke it down. After the game today. And he said, don't let go, don't let go of the rope, because when you're close against a good football team, it's a positive and a negative. It means you didn't do it, but it also means you're almost there. And him, he's always positive, and just trying to look at it that way. And I agree with him. But we just got to learn how to finish those games.
Do you guys like your run game plan coming into this one against this Rams defense?
Yeah. I love the plan, and obviously, with how well Philly ran it last week, you're going to get some different stuff. No one's just going to say, all right, hey, we're just going to do the exact same thing. Now, you get some similar fronts, but, they change up certain calls and different things they're trying to do up front with where they're putting people, and like we talked about. But, yeah, I felt completely confident. Absolutely, yeah. Good. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.